December 21st, 2025, episode 620. This is episode 620. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. Shall we? Florida woman accused of fatally shooting both her ex-husbands in single-day rampage.
It doesn't get any more brazen than this.
3 p.m. Wednesday in the Heritage Harbor neighborhood of Bradenton. Manatee County deputies found a man at his home with a gunshot wound, and they asked him,
"Who could have done this to you?" And he says, "Possibly my ex-wife."
That man later died at the hospital. But his teenager, who was home at the time of the shooting, told detectives the suspect drove off in a Honda Odyssey. The investigation turned to the victim's ex-wife, Susan Avalon.
She killed both her husbands in one day, and I'm here struggling, trying to fit in an hour of gym time after work. I have to do better. It's embarrassing that a murderer, alleged murderer, is getting more productivity out of her day than me. Now there's really no excuses. If you look past the grisly homicide, she's dangerously efficient. I bet you she can organize the hell out of a sock drawer. Would be an attractive quality if she wasn't, well, you know, a killer. A jilted Florida woman, Florida, one more before the year is out, who owes thousands of dollars in child support, was accused of fatally shooting both her ex-husbands in a single day last week. Susan Erica Avalon, 51, left a bloody trail across 3 counties in Florida. On December 17th, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office announced Thursday deputies first responded to reports of a shooting at a residential home around 3 p.m. Wednesday. Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells said the victim, a 54-year-old man who had been shot twice, managed to tell investigators that the shooter was probably my ex-wife before he died. Okay, that's where the second-degree murder comes in. He didn't die right there on the spot. He could have possibly been saved if time permitted.
The suspect owes the victim about $4,000 that we find out in child support. So she becomes our primary target. And she, ironically, owns a silver Honda Odyssey.
Manatee County deputies went to Avalon's house in Citrus County, where they reportedly watched the 51-year-old carry bleach out to her Honda Odyssey. Then they approached her.
Detectives let her know that they are there to speak about her ex-husband. She says, "Which one?"
You'd be surprised. I have so many stories where the wife goes to the internet to try to find a hitman, and it's never a hitman. It's always the FBI or someone law enforcement adjacent. Susie's damn hardcore. If you want something done right, you do it yourself, I guess. No receipts, no Google, no ChatGPT, how to get rid of a dead husband, no internet history, nothing. Just mind to muscle. Now, I might give you 50-50. One of those marriages, it might have been the husband, maybe, but to have 2 bad marriages back to back and then kill both of them, it was always you, Susie. The estranged couple's 15-year-old daughter told authorities that she heard gunshots in their home after her father opened the front door. So just doing this in and of itself is wild. It's nasty work, but you're going to do it in front of your child also. That's just crazy. She went to the window and she said she saw a person in a gray sweatshirt and a mask flee in a silver Honda Odyssey. That looks like mom's van. Authorities tracked the fleeing car to Avalon's home in Citrus County the following day and caught her while she was bleaching its interior. See, busy little bee, always working. When investigators said they wished to speak with her about about her ex-husband, Avalon eerily replied, "Which one?" Wells said, realizing that Avalon had a second ex living being the operating term here in Tampa. The sheriff's department contacted the city's police and rushed to conduct a wellness check at his home in Hillsborough County. Inside, they found that he had been shot and died long before their arrival. Maybe she got him first and then the other husband? An investigation is still ongoing, but authorities believe that Avalon left her home in Citrus County, killed her second ex-husband at his Hillsborough County home, then cruised to Manatee County and fatally shot her first ex-husband. Counting down, Susie. Officials didn't reveal a specific motive, but noted that Avalon owes upwards of $4,000 in child support to her first ex-husband. Then why kill the other ex-husband? You're just going to wipe the whole slate clean, huh, Suze? The pair divorced 11 years ago. It's unclear when she and her second ex-husband separated, Wells said. And it's not that bizarre when you think of the motivators for killing a spouse. Money is always in the top three. Susie, it was $4,000. There's some men out there like 50, 60, 100 racks in the hole and are still out there making babies, in the club, fresh J's, no job, working on a mixtape. All I'm trying to say is it might have been a little early in the game to consider whacking two ex-hubs over $4,000. It's a little extreme.
That is bizarre, Ariel. Just to clarify, were they both the ex-husbands shot on the same day?
It's my understanding that this investigation, everything happened yesterday on Wednesday, yes.
Wow, all right.
We believe this was premeditated. She knew what she was doing. It was planned. Damn right it was planned. She pulled up with Panera Bread. I'll never be able to look at Sierra Turkey the same way again. She came here to kill her ex-husband, Wells said. Avalon was charged with second-degree homicide for one of the killings, according to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Authorities said that more charges are expected, including a first-degree murder charge that would carry a possible death penalty. I bet you that's one showcase she'd like to pass along. Avalon was previously arrested for child abuse in Virginia, and has had related charges dropped in Tampa and Pasco County, Wells said.
Manatee investigators learned Avalon has another ex-husband who lives in Tampa, so they asked Tampa police to swing by his home, where officers discovered
This second ex-husband has also been shot and killed.
Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. What is the thought process exactly, ladies? Is this something you sleep on or something you do immediately before you think your way out of it? You know, you could get a second job, make a couple YouTube videos, get a little side hustle going, could attempt to negotiate a payment plan, pair it up with an apology, some accountability, yeah? No, that isn't going to happen. They're just going to have to go, right? There's no other way. Gun jams as shoplifting suspect tries to shoot Ohio police officer at point blank range in wild body cam video. As soon as I saw the guy, I knew he was on some type of drugs from his demeanor, his body language, his delayed reactions, like he's trying to be evasive, but he can't quite think fast enough. And he's from Ohio, so it all fits. We hear about people trying to take out cops all the time, but to actually see someone draw and fire with zero hesitation from about only 4 or 5 feet away in a confined space is something very different, and I'm happy that cop made it home to his family. Heart-pounding video shows the moment a shoplifting suspect allegedly tried means he failed, to shoot an Ohio police officer at point-blank range inside a Walmart, only to be stopped when his gun appeared to malfunction and a store security worker intervened. The title store security worker doesn't do this man justice. He moved in like it was muscle memory. The dramatic incident unfolded Thursday in Canton after the suspect and a woman were detained for allegedly stealing items from the store. According to reports, the pair were taken to a security room where a police officer could be seen questioning and searching for the male suspect identified as Shane Newman, 21. That is a terrible looking 21 by Fox 8. What I think happened is when Shane reached into his pouch pocket to give him the drugs, the cop thought he was clear, and the officer has probably done 1,000 searches procedure, but that 1,001 time you skipped that step could have easily been the one that took you out.
I told her not to steal it, bro.
You didn't steal, so it wasn't just on her. You watched you walk over and put an item in the bag off the shelf.
This is the type of guy we're dealing with here. His girlfriend, who is clearly scared, still slides over to offer him some comfort. He's going through it because he knows the system. He knows he's going to jail, and he doesn't say, "It's going to be okay, baby. I'm sorry I got us in trouble, baby. I love you, baby." Nothing like that. He flat out snitched on her. I told her not to steal. He really threw her under the bus, showed her exactly how much he cared about her right then and there. He's a piece of work. He's definitely a piece of something. When someone shows you who they really are, please believe them the first time around. She was staring at him surprised and shocked, like she couldn't believe he would do her like that. That is a terrible time to find out that someone really doesn't rock with you. Video from the officer's body camera, which had been placed on a table, initially showed a calm scene with a Walmart employee handing the officer a pen and paper as the two suspects sat on a bench. Moments later, the situation exploded. The worker then knocked the gun from Newman's hands as the officer drew his weapon and shouted, "Get back, get back." The officer then took control of matters and pinned Newman to the floor until additional police arrived. Both suspects were taken into custody. Conrad moves like he's done this before. Ex-cop or ex-military, possibly. Or maybe he's just a grizzled veteran of these Walmart streets. But he was extremely dialed in and instinctively leapt into action as soon as he saw that the junkie had a gun. Conrad potentially saved both their lives because I promise you that cop's gun was not going to jam. But the only reason he didn't fire was because Conrad was in his line of sight. He would have killed that guy. In the body cam footage, the officer told responding police that Newman had pulled the gun out, pointed it at my head, and pulled the trigger, but the weapon did not fire. And he did come clean to his sarge about not doing a more thorough search, and they're probably gonna rip him about that a couple times as a training issue, but he can definitely consider this a livable lesson. The officer said he drew his own weapon and would have shot Newman. He wouldn't have been wrong. Got some Newman splatter all over Newman's girlfriend, but feared hitting the Walmart employee as the worker struggled to disarm the suspect. That was far from a struggle. That was like ninja. He also acknowledged missing the gun concealed in Newman's shoulder bag during the initial search. Now, did the gun really come out of the shoulder bag? I've watched this video like 4 times. I thought it was in the pouch pocket in his jacket. The officer, I gotta watch it again. The officer said he had just been alerted seconds before the attack that Newman had an active warrant for his arrest and was classified as armed and dangerous.
Yeah, you know what? I arrested him. He had 237 bromazine pills. I got him with trafficking. He went to prison. Yep, those ones though. Those actually may be
Xannies?
no fentanyl. Yeah, that's exactly what he was selling when I pulled him over with that girl. Or it was a different girl. The girl was real skinny. He had 237 of them.
You could call it luck, divine intervention, a stupid junkie that doesn't know how to work a gun. Maybe it's all three. But that cop went in expecting to give them both summonses, that's all, and ended up in a situation where he could have lost his life or taken someone else's. This moment was so tightly wound together that if one thing happened slightly differently, someone would have died. Newman was charged with attempted murder and felonious assault on a police officer. Court records show they were throwing the term 30 years around in that conversation. Then the Sarge says something like he's going to run it up the line and see if he could tack some Fed charges onto it too. He's done. The woman, identified as Katarina Jeffrey, was charged with complicity to commit commit robbery and having weapons under disability for possession of ammunition. Damn, just hanging with this loser got you caught up all the way. Fox 8 reported. Before the violence erupted, the police officer asked Newman if he had anything on him as part of the search. Newman said all he had was a cell phone, and then he voluntarily handed over a small container from his pocket that investigators said contained illegal drugs. I think it was fentanyl, according to Fox 8.
I'm happy you're all right.
Oh, it would have been my life. I mean, pointed right at my face. Look at that.
He'll go to prison for 30 plus years. Hopefully they take it.
He tried to do it again. Look.
Thank God for Conrad.
I guess I'm putting him in for an award. But
Citizen of the Year.
I was going to shoot him right here.
Yeah.
But Conrad was there.
Are we going to jail? Jeffrey asked the police officer. Not unless something crazy happens. That tells you he had no intention of taking anyone to jail. He was just going to give them summonses. Then that's so ironic because not even 45 seconds, a minute tops later, something crazy happened. Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. Now, when he was subdued, he kept saying over and over again, just shoot me, just shoot me. Do you think this was some attempt at suicide by cop? Is that what he was aiming for? Fun show, fun show, fun show. The music for this episode is from Will B. Alexander. Get your music from Will B. Alexander. I'll leave the contact information down here at the bottom. If you're a producer and you would like to have your music featured on an episode of this podcast, reach out to me on any one of my socials. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Find me wherever you listen or watch your favorite podcast. I am there. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Jusqu'à la prochaine. Bye. Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. What is the thought process exactly? Ladies, is this